Now we look at number 4 in our series on managing for the Master till he comes. And this is offerings for Jesus. And maybe I'll begin with that quote in the notes from Dallas Willard. Many churches are measuring the wrong things. We measure things like attendance and giving, but we should be looking at more fundamental things like anger, contempt, honesty, and the degree to which people are under the thumb of their lusts. Those things can be counted, but not as easily as offerings. And maybe there's something for us to be thinking about. What really is the role of paying tithes, offerings, giving these gifts, monetary gifts to the church, to God? In what way do you miss more important things? Do you remember Jesus' words to those very strict people who paid tithe even on the herbs in their garden? He says, you shouldn't ignore that. But you ignore the more important things. You're ignoring the really significant things of doing what's right and living right. Because these Pharisees had the idea, as long as you kept all these little rules, you were fine and you could think whatever you wanted. And you could be a total hypocrite. As long as you didn't do anything bad, you could be in the inside, what did he call them? Whitened sepulchres full of dead men's bones, full of all kinds of corruption. As long as you didn't do anything, you were okay. So offerings for Jesus, yes, but they come from a glad and grateful heart, not because it's a requirement and that you're giving to satisfy anything else than your desire to express thankfulness to God. Not because you're guilty, not because you feel like it's a demand, not because you're required to do that. And I think sometimes in our studies we can tend to go towards that. Another quote there that is relevant, Henry Frederick Amiel. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Thankfulness may consist merely of words. Gratitude is shown in acts. So when you give, you are showing true gratitude. So there's a very important principle for us as we start thinking about it. There are a lot of texts that we could pick up, but I would like to pick up that one, the story of the widow and her mites, those 2 small coins mentioned there in Mark 12, 41 to 44. You remember, Jesus saw this woman putting in these 2 very small coins, lepta, very, very insignificant coins of no real monetary value, tiny monetary value. And she's putting that into the temple offertory. And Jesus contrasts what she's done with these people pouring out money from their money bags into the temple treasury. And he says, look, what she's done is far more than these other people, because they gave out of their wealth while she gave out of her poverty. She gave out of everything she had to live on. She gave it because she wanted to do something for God, and that's all she had. And there's a great description of generosity, of wanting to do something even with the tiny coins that you have because you don't have anything more. Is God demanding that? No, but that widow clearly felt that that was something that she wanted to do. And then we have the other text of the woman anointing Jesus' feet. And Jesus' response, leave her alone. Why are you criticizing her for doing something beautiful to me? You'll always have the poor with you and you can help them whenever you want. but you won't always have me with you. She did what she could. She anointed my body in anticipation of my burial. A wonderful gift from this lady who wanted to give something to Jesus, for Jesus, despite the complaints of people like Judas who said, well, you could have sold that and given it to the poor. Not that he was going to do that, of course. Not that he wanted to help them particularly, but he wanted to keep things for himself. He just couldn't see that being wasted as he viewed it. But Jesus saw that as a great and wonderful gift, given because it was given from a heart full of gratitude. May we remember to act and to follow that kind of example.